Hello and welcome back to another tactics video on the channel. Been a long time since I've done one of these, and what better time to bring it back than looking ahead to how Manchester United can beat Manchester City, the best team in the world right now under Pep Guardiola. United are on a 21-game unbeaten run away from home, while City are on a 21-game winning run themselves, so one of these winning runs is going to have to give on Sunday. Now, before we get into the video, everyone says it, but it does make a huge difference. So if you're new around here, please do smash that like button, get yourself subscribed, and do share the video with a friend if you enjoy the content, and help us grow the channel as much as we possibly can. Now, the back five for United pretty much pick themselves. Obviously, De Gea's in Spain, so Henderson steps in, and the back four pick themselves in front of that. The rest of the team selection will become clear as we look at the tactics United need to use to get something out of this game. So, as has been the pattern for the last few Manchester derbies and pretty much every game City play in, they'll dominate possession. And when they do dominate possession, they get their wingers really high and really wide so they stretch the game. Their central midfield players like to play nice and high, that'll be De Bruyne and Gundogan, and Fernandinho or Rodri will sit a little bit deeper behind them. In terms of their defence, they'll sit in a wide back three that covers the whole width of the pitch, with Laporte or Zinchenko wide left, Ruben Diaz in the middle, and John Stones out wide. Joao Cancelo doesn't really play as a right back, he comes in field and plays more alongside Rodri, but he's got freedom to do whatever he wants pretty much because he's such a good player on the ball. Now, whilst this structure does allow City to dominate the ball, it does also give United a great opportunity, because if United are able to isolate John Stones and Laporte or Zinchenko in 1v1 battles with our pacey forwards, we should be able to get something on the counter-attack. So I suggest starting Marcus Rashford on the left and Daniel James on the right for that reason, and looking for those long balls over the top into those spaces. Now, the problem for United is that in order that Rashford and Dan James can actually have a chance of winning those races with the centre-backs and the race with Ederson to get to that ball first, it's really important that they start high enough up the pitch that they're close to the centre-backs. If they start down here, if they start deep alongside the fullback to help out dealing with City's wingers, then they're not going to be able to beat the City centre-backs in that race because they'll have a massive head start and it'll be really tough for them. So in order to facilitate our wingers being that high up the pitch, we're going to need to find some sort of defensive balance, some sort of defensive structure so that we don't lose out when City are in possession. This is where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to make a massive call. For me, he's got to ditch our centre forward, play without a striker in this game. And the reason for that is that when City get the ball to their wingers here, United are obviously going to want to defend nice and narrow to try and protect that penalty area. But because the City wingers are always so wide, our fullbacks are going to naturally get attracted out wide to them. And when that happens, it leaves a lot of space in here between Maguire and Luke Shaw, or Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka on the other side, for City's attacking mids to get in behind there. And that ball goes into the half space, they play it across goal and they score the same tap-in we've seen hundreds of times in previous seasons. Now, to stop that happening, it's really important that United track these runs from the midfield players. So it's important that we have players with mobility in that area. So McTominay and Fred have got to play there to track those runs. Now, the problem is, when that happens, when they do track those runs, if the ball doesn't go to those players, there's then a lot of space in this area here for Joao Cancelo to come and operate, and we've seen he's so dangerous in those areas. There's a lot of space for Rodri to step up as well, and that's going to give us a big problem if Fred and McTominay have tracked the runs. So we need to play another midfield player there, Nemanja Matic in this case, to mark that space and stop that becoming a problem. And for me, that's why Solskjaer's got to sacrifice his number 9. The final link in this team is Bruno Fernandes. He's got a really important role because whenever United win that ball, he's got to be there to drop deep, try and show for that ball and play it early out to Rashford and Dan James. So they've got a fighting chance of getting that ball before the centre-backs and before Ederson. It's also really important that if the United midfielders get dragged, if Fred and McTominay do get dragged into these wide areas, and Matic is left with a 2v1 potentially against Fernandinho and Cancelo, or maybe Aguero dropping deep or Jesus dropping deep, then Fernandes has got to be there to spot the danger, get his foot in and try and help out the defence. Bruno's role is going to be crucial in the team. For me, this is United's best chance of overhauling City and coming away with the 3 points. It's going to be really tough. Let me know in the comments down below how United should play this game, whether you agree with my tactics or not. And until next time, thanks for watching and see you soon.